See a bard in the corner.
Hi everyone, it's Bardic Whispers here, and today I'm going to start something new, and let me know how it goes. But basically I'm going to try and create the origin story of me, I suppose, which would be Bardic Whispers campaign to how I got to become the sleepy bard in the corner at the Sleepy Matilda. So, I think we might need a few different books to sort of build this up, but we'll see how we go. This is a little bit of shooting from the hip to see how we can build this. So, first I will go for just a little bit of a detailed explanation about where I started as a level 1 bard. The town in the world of, I think I'm just going to be unoriginal and call it Bardia. Cool. So the world is Bardia, and this town, I think we will call Feather Jack. A small town of, let's say, 100 people. And I was the bard at a local tavern. Now let us build this town and tavern together to see what comes of it. So it's 112. So, similar to this kind of space, lots of trees and a little bit of cavernous, sort of in the mountain ranges, let's say, in the highlands. Cavernous forest scape. Almost like Yellowstone in some parts, like the nature park and stuff like that. So the tavern I originally worked at, which is a D20 11, is called the Drunken Dolphin. What is the status of the relationship? The town is in harmony. Ruled by a religious leader. 19 for notable traits. Site of an important tomb. Maybe the old kings. Known for its 6 beautiful flowers. And what is the calamity that will beset us. Important figure has died. It's a suspected foul play, and the tavern at the Dolphin is members only club. That works out. Okay, so deep in an alpine town lies a small members club tavern. Surrounded by guards and security, make sure that no one jumps the line or comes in with no membership. Sits a quiet little bard, slowly working their vocal messages and slowly working on their warm-ups. The tavern's called the Drunken Dolphin, and the town is a little bit uneasy, and the members of high society need a little calming. So you think that it might be best to potentially use a nice relaxing tone or calm emotions to sort of relax everyone a little bit more. There has been a recent death in the high society. One of the supporters and essentially PR for the religious leader of the town has passed away, but was fit, healthy, and in good spirits only days ago, but has suddenly become ill and passed. Venturing through and playing my calming songs and speaking with and just doing the general crowd work, have developed a little bit more of an inclination that there may be something afoot. There's ponderings, suspicions, and everything. You're not sure if you should go to the police. Well, I'm not sure if I should go to the police or what I should do. With an insight of 5 naturally on the die, I really don't know what to do. So I head back and do my shift, and then the night comes. I've gotten a few four gold pieces for my work and tips, and I head back to my small house in the outskirts of town. You can hear the trees and the birds sort of chirping and getting ready to roost for the night, but I can't help but shift this suspicion or this feeling that something's wrong here. Maybe I need to figure out or follow up with some of the information I found. The body shouldn't be that discoloured. You remember hearing from some of the high society folk. So maybe you need to go to the morgue. Maybe you need to go have a look and inspect for yourself. Maybe you can lend some assistance from some of this knowledge that you've got. So, heading down the main drag, it's a sandy cobblestone main walkway. All of the roofs and housing are grey stone, red tile roof, a majority of a lot of huts and a few different things, but it's sort of twilight. Sun's going down. This being so high in the Alpines, the sun takes a much longer to set because you have such a high elevation over the horizon to those in the lower plains, deeper in Bardia. So you keep walking through. Nothing seems out of the ordinary for you as you sort of walk through as I walk through the town. There's the normal drunkards, there's the normal merriment and everything, but there's always that hint of a little bit of suspicion, a little bit of unease. with someone so notable in the limelight passing away so suddenly. So as you walk through, you sort of find where they would be keeping the body, and you perhaps will have a look and see if you can find what you can do to help. So as you sneak with 16, as you sneak up to the space, no one's really detected you. Everyone's sort of closing for business or walking up. But you do notice one of the morticians, the doctors, that you notice one of the morticians is about to lock up. I decided to go talk a little bit to them to sort of figure out. I asked them how the day was and if they sort of had any more insight on this mysterious death or passing. They responded a little bit standoffish and queried as to why I would be asking or intrigued by this problem, being a simple bard for a bar. I expressed my concerns and my following up of these high society members to ease them, to make sure that nothing sort of came or ill fit of it, and he ended up just shooing me away. But I sort of stayed back and sort of started inspecting. The front door was definitely locked, and it doesn't really seem like there's much use. When turning around, I notice a few figures, and let us have a look at the dungeon to see something that I wanted to look at. Who could possibly be responsible? Let us have a look. 6. So as I turn around, I see a couple of figures emerge from the ground, or what seems to be the ground. I can quickly deduce that these are Earth Genasi, a part of a cult that worships the land and doesn't necessarily like, or lives within the forest, but doesn't necessarily like the settlement directly. With an 8 for persuasion, I tip my hat to them and sort of back away, but it is suspicious that a few of these Earth Genasi are here looking and lurking around this area of town. With a little bit of a deception and performance, I make it look like I was working at the morgue and just leaving from finishing up for the day, and I sort of slink away behind the buildings to watch these Earth Genasi slowly make their way and break into the morgue. Perplexed and clearly outnumbered, I decide to head back and take this information back for my knowledge. I might have to go talk to some of these other high society and try and figure out why these Earth Genasi are going to come in and do something. It is all very suspicious. think this was a little practice of some of the things I'm trying to do. It was a little bit difficult for me to sort of talk in I rather than you. Being a DM, I talk in you rather than I. So when I'm doing it both sides, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's a good note. Please let me know if this sort of idea intrigues you about learning about potentially building a campaign around me as a bard. A little murder mystery. It's kind of interesting. We might sort of do a little bit of bits and bobs there. But yes, thank you all for listening. I think it's interesting to sort of build something really quickly and just roll up a few different things. If you're interested, let me know and we can continue. Otherwise, I'll continue doing my normal stuff and work on this major campaign episodic that I'm working on as well. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy your long rest.